The wind whispered through the towering pine trees as a group of friends set up their campsite deep within the remote wilderness. Excitement filled the air as they shared stories around the crackling fire, unaware of the sinister presence lurking in the darkness. As the night grew darker, a sense of unease settled upon them. Strange noises echoed through the forest, and eerie shadows danced in the moonlight. They dismissed it as their imaginations running wild, attempting to reassure each other. But their sense of security shattered when one of them went missing. Panic gripped their hearts as they embarked on a frantic search, their flashlights cutting through the inky blackness. Each step deepened their dread, and the woods seemed to close in around them. Suddenly, a blood-curdling scream pierced the silence. Terror engulfed them as they stumbled upon a grotesque sight, a mutilated body hanging from a tree branch. Fear consumed their every thought, and they realized they were being hunted by an unknown predator. With their numbers dwindling, paranoia set in, turning friend against friend. Trust evaporated like mist, replaced by a desperate fight for survival. Shadows slithered through the trees, whispering malevolently, while unseen eyes watched their every move. As the night wore on, they discovered a hidden cabin, dilapidated and foreboding. Desperation drove them inside, seeking refuge from the relentless horror. But within those decaying walls, they found an ancient book of forbidden rituals, a gateway to an evil beyond comprehension. In a race against time, they frantically deciphered the ancient text, hoping to find a way to break free from this nightmare. But with each incantation spoken, they inadvertently unleashed an unspeakable evil that consumed everything in its path. Their once peaceful camping trip had turned into a waking nightmare. It was a battle for their very souls, as they fought against the malevolent forces that sought to claim them one by one. In the end, only a single survivor emerged, scarred and haunted by the horrors witnessed in those cursed woods. Legend speaks of the campsite, forever cursed, a place where innocent campers vanish without a trace. Whispers of their fate still linger, a chilling reminder to those who dare to venture into the darkness. The campsite stands as a grim testament to the unrelenting evil that lurks in the heart of the wilderness, waiting patiently for its next victims to arrive. It was supposed to be a weekend of adventure and bonding in the great outdoors. 4 friends, Mark, Sarah, Jake, and Emily, embarked on a camping trip to a remote and unfamiliar forest. They were armed with tents, provisions, and a sense of excitement as they left the comforts of civilization behind. They ventured deep into the woods, navigating through thick foliage and towering trees. As dusk settled, they set up their campsite, laughing and sharing stories under the starry sky. Little did they know that this innocent gathering would soon turn into a nightmarish struggle for survival. The next morning, the sun rose to reveal a serene landscape, but something was amiss. Their campsite looked unfamiliar. Panic crept into their hearts as they realized they had become disoriented and lost within the vast forest. Fear tightened its grip as the group searched for familiar landmarks, but everything seemed distorted and unfamiliar. The forest seemed to play tricks on their minds, shifting paths and concealing any trace of their original route. Hours turned into a blur as desperation set in. Fatigue and hunger gnawed at their bodies, weakening their resolve. They argued and blamed each other, their fraying nerves and waning hope driving a wedge between once close friends. As the sun descended, a sense of foreboding blanketed the forest. Strange noises emanated from the darkness, and shadows danced menacingly between the trees. Their whispers seemed to taunt the lost souls wandering within their domain. A disheveled figure emerged from the depths of the forest, startling the group. It was an old woodsman, weathered by time and the mysteries of the wilderness. He warned them of an ancient curse that befell those who ventured too far into the woods, trapped in a never-ending labyrinth, destined to wander until their spirits withered away. Terrified, the group begged the woodsman for guidance. He handed them a tattered map, marked with cryptic symbols and instructions. They clung to it as their last beacon of hope, desperate to break free from this endless nightmare. Following the map's cryptic instructions, they pressed forward, their faith teetering on a razor's edge. With each step, the forest seemed to grow darker and more menacing. Shadows elongated and twisted, whispering malevolently in their ears. Days blurred into nights, and nights into days. Hunger gnawed at their stomachs, and exhaustion drained their strength. Yet they pressed on, their will to survive overpowering their bodies' cries for rest. Finally, they reached a clearing bathed in moonlight. An ancient tree stood at its center, its branches entwined in a grotesque pattern. As they approached, the ground trembled beneath their feet, and the tree split open, revealing a passage into an unknown abyss. With trepidation, they descended into the darkness, guided solely by the hope of escape. The passage twisted and turned, leading them deeper into an underground labyrinth. The air grew stagnant, filled with the stench of decay. After what felt like an eternity, they stumbled upon a glimmer of light. Bursting forth from the depths, they emerged from the forest, battered and broken but alive. The cursed woods finally released its hold on them, sparing them from an eternity of aimless wandering. Their bodies may have escaped the labyrinth, but the haunting memories lingered, forever etched in their souls. They vowed never to speak of their harrowing ordeal, for the forest demanded its secrets be kept hidden. Years later, they reunited, forever bound by the horrors they had faced. In their hearts, they knew that no camping trip could ever truly erase the lingering fear, the sense of being lost in the forest. In the heart of the untamed wilderness, a solitary hiker named Alex embarked on a journey through the dense forest. With backpack and compass in hand, excitement fueled their steps as they immersed themselves in the beauty of nature. Little did Alex know that this wilderness held a secret darker than the shadows that danced between the trees. As the sun dipped below the horizon, Alex set up camp near a babbling brook, seeking solace in the gentle sounds of nature. Night descended, and the forest transformed into an eerie landscape. The rustling leaves seemed to whisper ancient secrets, and unseen eyes watched from the darkness. The crackling campfire provided a feeble barrier against the encroaching dread. Alex's unease grew as the forest serenade turned into a cacophony of unsettling noises. Twigs snapped, and distant howls echoed through the night, awakening a primal fear within their heart. Unable to sleep, Alex decided to take a moonlit stroll, hoping to ease their restless mind. As they wandered deeper into the wilderness, an unnatural chill enveloped the air, causing goosebumps to rise on their skin. A sense of being watched intensified, but no eyes met their gaze. Suddenly, a piercing scream cut through the silence, sending shivers down Alex's spine. It was a cry of pure terror that seemed to echo from the depths of the forest. Panic gripped their heart as they sprinted back towards their camp, the haunting wails echoing in their ears. Arriving at the campsite, a chilling sight awaited them. The once flickering fire had transformed into an inferno, casting dancing shadows that twisted and contorted with a life of their own. Their gear lay in disarray, as if a malevolent force had ransacked their belongings. With trepidation, Alex discovered a crumpled note nestled among the debris. It bore a cryptic warning, words scrawled in trembling handwriting. "Beware the wilderness spirit, for it preys upon the lost and lures them to their demise." Fear and confusion swirled in Alex's mind, but survival instinct pushed them forward. They had to escape this haunting wilderness before it claimed them too. Guided by the light of the moon, they navigated through the labyrinth of trees, adrenaline propelling them forward. Each step grew heavier as unseen forces seemed to drag them deeper into the heart of darkness. Shadows morphed and whispered, playing tricks on their senses. The forest became a twisted maze, shifting paths mocking their attempts to find an exit. Exhausted and disoriented, Alex collapsed to the forest floor, surrendering to the sinister embrace of the wilderness. Just as all hope seemed lost, a spectral figure emerged from the shadows, an ethereal glow surrounding its form. It was the wilderness spirit, a spectre of the ancient woods. The spirit beckoned with a pale hand, offering guidance. In a final act of desperation, Alex followed, trusting that this ethereal being held the key to their escape. The path led to a hidden portal, a gateway back to safety. As Alex emerged from the forest, gasping for air, they realized they had narrowly escaped the clutches of the wilderness spirit. The haunting memories of that night would forever haunt their dreams, a reminder of the horrors lurking within the wilderness. From that day forward, Alex warned others to tread cautiously through those untamed lands, for the wilderness held secrets darker than the night itself. It was a realm where the boundaries between the physical and supernatural blurred, a place where the unwary could easily become lost forever.